So what I'm going to ask you to do is to now consider from that experience, using that experience as sort of your, what do I want to say, your grounding in that, thinking about what you did. Consider, what am I good at as a leader? Think about what you did that made a difference. And by this, I'm including particular skills, an attitude or a tone, an attitude that you brought or a tone, or a quality. I mean, it might be that people can depend on you for always being frank or always being willing to say the hard things, anything like that. So I want you to start thinking about this question: what am I good at as a leader? Because so often we're all so busy. We've all got those to-do lists. The ways that we're busy in our communities are happy to take all of our time. And there's rarely time for us to step back and really reflect on ourselves as leaders. So this is where you do need to finish eating a little bit, because I'm going to ask you to find someone who you don't know, someone who you didn't come with, and have a conversation with them, sharing your insights about this. So if you want to, you can tell the story, but truly the story is only the backdrop for you. What I really want you to share is, what am I good at as a leader? Because rarely do we go up to someone and say, "Hi, Frank, I'm Deb.
Good to meet you again."
Good to meet you again." And to be able to say, "This is what I know about myself. I know X, Y, and Z." So I'd like you to come up with at least 3 things, and if you can come up with way more, great. So each person's going to have about a minute, and then I'm going to get you to switch. So we're going to do that a couple of times. So therefore comes the appreciative inquiry mingle. Okay? So this is the kind of get up and move a little bit. I'm going to ask you, because you're sitting at tables, we'll have a couple of opportunities to mix with different people. But if you could find someone you don't know and share your insights from this question. Okay? And I'll give you some time.
That's one thing I think you really, well, we don't know each other really.
Working with business.
This is the mingle part. The first person wrapping up and begin switching to hearing from the second person.
We're doing good. We're thinking outside.
Okay, if you can begin wrapping up that conversation. And now I'm going to ask you to find another person.
Work on some goals, small areas, this is how we do it, and where I am on the social side, I'm always doing something that I'm
I did, I think, in a funny way, but really not in a frank inspired. Really, as a local farm, really very matter of fact. Really.
And come on back. Come on back to your seat. So, thank you. Thank you for being willing to jump in and do something that you didn't know you were going to have to do when you signed up for this. So I just want to say that I appreciate your willingness to try something. And also, you already had leadership points before you arrived because you found the room, which was really hard. So I just want to say bravo on being willing to jump in this.
I had to ask.
Then you get an extra point, Frank. I'm willing to give that to you.
I let someone here, so I get an extra point.
So I've put on your table handouts for appreciative inquiry. And this is something that you can take and use with any group that you are working with, and it gives a sample interview sheet on the back, but it's an approach. And so if a group is ever just in a place where you need to be just doing something a little differently, you might want to read through this sheet. It's a good handout. And we can also, if you want, Patty has these on email, and so if you'd like to have them just on email in addition to hard copy, that's possible as well. So now I want to know, I want to know how that was, but I want us to go around and introduce ourselves, and we have to do it fairly quickly, just time-wise. I'd like to set a pace. So what I'd like to know is your name, where you're from, and how you use leadership and one insight from the mingle that we just did, the Appreciative Inquiry Mingle. So whoever wants to start is fine. I'd love to know names. Jump in, thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm Stephanie Emmons, and I live here in Augusta. I work for DHHS, OAC PDS, adults with cognitive, Office of Adults with Cognitive and Physical Disability Services.
A little louder, okay?
It's the Office of Adults with Cognitive and Physical Disability
Thank you.
Service. Took me a long time to remember that. Now, one insight, is that?
Yes, exactly, one insight. And I'm glad you did that because I think I wrote up, no, you know something, I didn't write what I wanted you to do on this. Usually I try to just so that people can remember. So one insight from the Appreciative Inquiry Mingle.
Well, I met a lovely lady who is often in the building where I work and who heads a wonderful group of providers who, provide services for seniors. Safety and, just a whole medley of services are available for seniors. And I hope that I've translated that correctly. And so it was wonderful to meet another valuable resource.
Great, great. What I want to check on, Stephanie, right?
Yes.
I want to ask if, and I know, I hope you don't mind, but because you were willing to go first, I'm going to ask, would you be willing to give us an insight about the question of what am I good at as a leader? So I'm going to keep it focused on that because that's what we're talking about tonight. So any insights from that particular question?
I really feel, I attempt to be empathic and a good listener, because I
Great.
think that's really crucial, and I try very hard to be a good communicator, because I think that that's really so basic and important.
Great, great. Thank you, and thanks for going first.
Oh, you're very welcome. My pleasure.
So we can either do popcorn, where when your palms sweat or you think, oh, it's my turn, I should go, we do popcorn, or we can go around tables. Do you have a preference?
I'll go next.
Thank you. So it looks like we're doing popcorn. That's good.
Guys. My name is Phyllis von Herlich, and I live in Augusta, and I don't have to drive very far, which is good. My insight into myself as a leader is that I'm really sort of a modest leader. I don't mind speaking in front of people, but I'm not the one who wants to be the president. I mean, I'll be the secretary, and I will administratively get you organized and keep you on task and make sure everything gets done, which is sometimes it's a real tedious skill sometimes. But I'm very, very good at it. I'm very good at listening to conversations and summarizing conversations and presenting minutes in ways that people can read them and digest them and can tolerate, having them. And that's
Great.
That's what I'm really, really good at. Yeah.
Great. Phyllis, thank you. Many of us would love to have your skills in our group. Thank you. Yeah. Anyone else ready to jump in? We need to do this fairly quickly.
I'm Tricia from Starks. I think the skills that I bring would be my attitude. Trying to get people to realize the needs in the community and people that have lived there all their life. As an away person, my ideas aren't accepted readily, so I just kind of keep on plugging at it until I can make headway with something.
Great. Great. Thanks.